welcome back to Sheri Approved, and we continue with my 2019 discoveries, but now we're going to start skincare because we completed makeup. So 2019 was an interesting year for my skin. For those of you who don't know, I have oily acne prone skin. My skin is being managed a lot better now, but in 2019, early in 2019, in February actually, I had my baby. And my skin started again to change. Now, your skin changes in pregnancy, it changes post-pregnancy. Hormones does a whole other things to your skin. So it was a very interesting year for me because I was trying to figure out where my skin was at. And in fact, I was loving how my skin was immediately after pregnancy, because the whole pregnancy beautiful skin continued for me. And then maybe around month 4 or 5 postpartum, I don't know if my hormones just decided, yeah, we're ready to do all the havoc, and my skin started to change again. And that's when I started to get back some breakouts and so on. That only went on though for about 4 to 6 weeks because I was kind of playing around with things to try to get my skin under control. And then it settled down again until December, when stress just gave me a total breakout. So in between that time though, I was trying, of course, a lot of skincare. You all know I love to do that. And there are things that would have been new or probably used more in 2019. So just like with makeup, I mentioned things that I discovered or probably really got a love in the air, as opposed to just favorites, because they're products outside of what I'm going to talk about that are still my favorites. But these are probably new things that I may have mentioned in between, but probably not talked about a lot. So yeah. This first part, let's see how far we can get. But I want to start off with cleansing balms and cleansing oils. So for those of you who know about Good Molecules, which is a brand owned by Beautylish, they came out with skincare to kind of rival the ordinary. Everybody was talking about it all over social media, especially on Instagram, that kind of thing. And they came up with several things, and one including a cleansing balm. So I tried it and I actually did like it a lot, and that's this product. I actually finished it. I have not repurchased, but it was really good, and simply because I have a lot of cleansing products or cleansing oils, cleansing balms, that first cleanse step that I'm going through and trying and testing, which is why I have not repurchased. I also did a post on this that talks about cleansing balms in terms of a cost comparison and an ingredient comparison. And this was not bad in terms of the price. It's on the lower side compared to others. It's not the cheapest or not necessarily best value for money, but it's very close to there. So this one was a really good one. What I liked about it is that the base of this is shea butter, camellia oil, and sea buckthorn oil, which is not very common. That particular one is not very common in first cleanse products, or a lot that I've tried before. And it worked really well on me. It did not break me out. It is very, very effective in terms of actually breaking down makeup, SPF, dirt, grime, and so on before you go in with your water-based cleanser. So this is one that I definitely recommend, and I got to try it and got to love it in 2019. The second thing is this one. This is the Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm, and that's a long name. This didn't come out in 2019. I think it came out before that. I did have it before and I did try it before, but in 2019 I pulled out about 3 tubs of this that I had piling up and used it, loved it. Truthfully, you all know I always talk about the Hamish cleansing balm, which is a Korean cleansing balm that I love. It is my #1 pick and my favorite. Truthfully, if I could have afforded to maintain this one, I would actually choose this over the Hamish. The only reason why I don't is because this one is just much more expensive. And again, on that chart that I had done, I'll include a link below. I showed the beautiful ingredients this has, but this one is also the most expensive per ounce. So I think the Good Molecules one is like 18 US for 4 ounces, and this is $30 something for 3.2. So it's on the higher end, so it's a little bit more expensive, especially if you're like me and you use a cleansing balm every single day. I use cleansing balms and cleansing oils not just to break down makeup, but also to properly break down SPF and pollutants and so on that gather on the skin. But this is an excellent product. This is where I'm in this particular jar. It has a herbal scent. I actually enjoy it, and it is very effective, works quickly. I don't have to work too hard to break down mascara, everything. This does a great job. The third item in this particular category that I discovered in 2019, it's not a new product on the Korean market at all, but it was they repackaged it, and I don't know if they kind of reintroduced it, because now Sephora carries this, and this is the Innisfree green tea cleansing oil. And of course, it features green tea, and Innisfree uses a lot of products or ingredients from Jeju Island. That island, it's prized for the ingredients because of the mineral rich volcanic soils. So there are a lot of beautiful things that come out or are grown there, and Innisfree is one of those brands that really capitalizes on those ingredients in their products. The interesting thing about this one, beside the fact that it feels really luxurious, this feels almost as nice as the Tatcha cleansing oil on my skin. I love it. It is a thicker formula than the Face Shop Light Rice cleansing oil. I'm sure I'm skipping something in that name. It's a little bit thicker, but although it's thicker and more emollient, it does a fantastic job. This breaks down waterproof mascara, everything very, very easily. And when it comes to cost, this actually works out to be the same cost per ounce as my Hamish cleansing balm. So I actually don't mind going between my Hamish and this in terms of being budget friendly on my pockets. It's good. And one of the interesting things about this is that the whole concept of cleansing oil and a cleansing balm is that you put it on onto dry skin, you massage it, and it breaks down everything. And then when you add water to it, it emulsifies and it rinses. Now, it is able to do that because they have surfactants in these products. This one actually uses green tea and a base of green tea. It's a naturally derived surfactant. So if that's something that you're concerned about in terms of cleansing oils and so on, this one might be one for you to check. I love this. I really, really enjoy this. And yeah, for those of you who are in the US and so on, this is available on Sephora. The next category would be cleansers. And I've spoken a lot. You all know I love my Purito Defense Barrier Cleanser, but in 2019, I was able to try some others, and these two I definitely recommend. This first one is by Andalou. Well, you can see this bottle is empty. This is the Andalou Naturals Citrus Kombucha Cleansing Oil. Now, that was a big name, and it has an interesting thing in the title there, and that is kombucha. For those of you who don't know, kombucha is a huge health craze right now. It is a probiotic. It has a lot of probiotics, so people drink it, but there's also research going on in terms of the benefit for your skin. And so there are quite a few serums and so on that are actually coming out with kombucha as an ingredient because of what it does for your skin barrier. But besides that being in here, this also has willowback, which is a natural source of salicylic acid. This also has argan stem cells. Well, the thing about it is Andalou Naturals is big on stem cell technology, and that's the edge or the thing that they market a lot in their cleansers. What I love about this is, first of all, this is not just for any skin type. This is definitely for oily, acne prone skin. I don't find it to be stripping at all. It's lovely. It does not leave the skin dry, but it is an effective cleanser, very effective. Besides that, it smells amazing. You do get that lovely, like, bright orange citrus smell. It's refreshing, especially in the morning, and I really, really enjoyed this. This worked well for me, especially when my skin decided to go crazy. The next one is absolutely not new on the market at all. It's been around for ages, but like I said in a post recently, I hadn't picked it up in a while, but I did pick up another bottle, and this is the CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser, and I used this a lot during 2019. And this is a fantastic cleanser. In fact, in my opinion, this is the best cleanser for oily skin, normal to oily skin, actually, from the drugstore. This particular one, hands down, it is the best. Why? Because way before anybody was talking about skin barrier and so on, CeraVe was doing it. There are ceramides in this, which is the big thing to protect your skin while, you know, doing what it's supposed to do in terms of cleansing your skin effectively. It's also maintaining and building skin barrier. And it also has niacinamide, which, as we know, is a wonderful brightening ingredient, great for balancing sebum, that kind of thing, and it's not stripping at all. So when you rinse your skin, you could actually feel your skin clean, but it feels wrapped in, I don't know, some hydrating goodness. It feels nice, and I love that. So this cleanser has worked really well for me, and I do recommend it. Next, we're going to go to toners. The first one that I will talk about is the Ole Henriksen, and let me make sure I say this properly, the Dark Spot O2 toner. I did a post on it. I don't have the bottle because I finished it, but it was the acid, one of the acid toners that I fell in love with during 2019. I actually started using it instead of my Pixie earlier in the year. And what I loved about it is that it has a lovely blend of glycolic acid, lactic acid, phytic acid, but it also had lovely brightening ingredients in that formulation as well, including licorice, lemon. So really good stuff, and it was not stripping. The thing about my only issue with that particular toner is that we had no idea really like what's the percentage, because for example Pixie we know is a 5%, the Ordinary we know is a 7%, so on, but we didn't know for the Ole Henriksen. But based on the results that I got in terms of how it was able to maintain my skin and so on, and give me that lovely exfoliation that I want from a glycolic acid toner without being too harsh, I could tell that it had a really good balance, as well as the position of the ingredients, the specific acids in the ingredients list. So that's a really good one that I recommend. It's of course it's pricier than Pixie, but if you can afford and you want to try it, I highly recommend that one. Then the other one is that you would have seen me use earlier in the year was the Amp from Rice toner. I put this in a lot of posts on my nighttime skincare routines and so on. This one contains almost 78% to 77 point something of rice extract, which is why it's, you see that milky thing there. And rice is a huge ingredient in Korean skincare, a lot because it's one of the anti-age ingredients, but mainly because of its brightening power. And that was one of the things that impressed me immediately when I used this. Like the first 2 or 3 times I was like, whoo, I found my skin was glowing a little bit extra from the time I added this to my skincare routine. This is my second bottle. I'm almost done with this one. But I recommend, this is not a more budget friendly, it's not on the cheaper side, but it's really a lovely toner to have in your arsenal. I love it, especially at nighttime when I am, upping my hydration levels. Then the next toner that I would recommend, and in general, in this set of videos on my skincare faves, I will not be talking too much about Cos de Baha. I did a dedicated video on that during 2019, the Cos de Baha products, because they were skincare game changers. So I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I will mention this one because I did not mention that in the video. And this is the Cos de Baha Niacinamide Facial Toner. This was one of the products from them that I mentioned that I was actually trying. I didn't try it with the others, and I actually, look how far I'm in that I have used this has niacinamide, which again of course is a brightening ingredient, but it also has a lovely base of aloe vera. It has glycerin, so there are lovely humectants here. This also has witch hazel. But one of the things that I've noticed from Cos de Baha in terms of the formulation of the toners that I've tried from them so far, I think I've tried 2 or 3 of their toners, it has a micellar water finish. I don't know how else to describe it, except that I love using their toners with cotton pads as opposed to pouring into my hand and pressing into my skin, because I feel that it not only tones the skin, but it gives my skin like an extra cleanse. I don't know if anybody's understanding what I'm saying, but that's what it does for me, and that's why I love this one. So I can use this in the morning. I also use this on my nighttime routine when I am doing retinol, because niacinamide is a good ingredient to pair with retinol. And the last one that I'm going to mention is this. This was my holy grail toner for 2019. This is the Purito Centella Green Devil Calming Toner. I fell in love with this. This has Centella Asiatica extract, and I don't know if I fell in love with it mainly because it just was one of the things that helped, calm my skin down and so on. But Centella Asiatica is one of those amazing ingredients for people with acne, skin irritations, rosacea, psoriasis, like a ton of irritable skin issues. This will just help to calm it and, just bring that inflammation down and just get your skin back to a particular place. But this toner is not like other toners. Toners in general be watery and so on. This is watery because I don't know if you could see, there's just a little bit left in this bottom. But it's like a hybrid between a toner and an essence because it has a jelly-like texture. If I pour this out, it's probably just going to go everywhere. But it has like a liquid jelly-like texture. When you put this on your skin, you feel as though hydration is just sinking in like to the deep levels of your skin. I have no idea how they did it. I have no idea how they formulated it to get that experience. But minutes after, you will still have that experience, and I love it because it's so super hydrating. But I could use it in the daytime. It works fantastic on my oily skin. This one is also hydrating, but I'm using this as like my standard. I'm using the Burrito as my standard, so I'm comparing everything in terms of how it feels against this. And this is hydrating, but just not as much as this one. So those are the toners, and then I have 2 more products to mention, and that would be in the category of essences, or let's just say the essence step, because neither of these are essences. in the real sense of the word. And I'm only mentioning this here so that you know that I still love it and I highly recommend it, and it became a 2019 skincare fave, and that's the Cause de Baha Snail Mucin Hyaluronic Acid Serum. This is a serum according to the company, but I use it as an essence step simply because I explained before that it reminded me a lot of the CosRx 96 snail mucin essence, and exactly how I use that is where I replace that in my skincare routine with this product. Fantastic. I will link the Cause de Baha video below so you can see all my thoughts on that, but if you have not tried it yet, definitely get this. The last one is one that I did not put in any photos. I did not mention. I was hiding it all the time, and I was using this in the latter part of 2019, and it's another product from Innisfree, and this is their ginger honey ampule skin. That's what they call it, right? So skin there gives the idea of an essence, but then it says an ampule. And what's the difference? So ampules are like kind of like between essences and serums. Ampules are supposed to be like serums and steroids. It's supposed to be like, let's say, a booster for your skin. They're supposed to be a little bit more concentrated than serums as well. But Innisfree actually recommends that you could even use this as a toner or as an essence step. So the lines are kind of getting blurred between what they actually name in products and calling products, but I definitely use this as an essence step. This thing smells amazing. So it's made from canola honey and ginger, obviously. That comes from, again, Jeju Island because of how mineral rich the soils are. Organic products, organic ingredients, that kind of thing. But this is, oh God, and the smell is so good. It has the sweetness from the honey. You get that slight sharpness of the ginger, but then there's a kind of powdery finish. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but this absorbs into the skin really well, and it's not as runny as regular essences. It's somewhere in between, but yet it's still so super lightweight so that I could use this in the daytime. Now, when I was having my breakouts in December, I actually stopped using this and I was using another essence at a point in time, and I was like, what's going on with my skin? Now, not to say that not because I was using that I was breaking out, but then I just decided, you know what, let me just put this back because I was missing it. And as soon as I put this in, within 2 days, my skin was actually responding in a really good way. I don't know why. Maybe it is because the honey is antiseptic and anti-inflammatory. I don't know, but it really worked so well for me, and I have fallen in love with this. So that's why you see this bottle is so full, and I actually give myself like a good 3 pours of this before I press it into my skin. And this I would press into my skin. I do layers. Sometimes I will do 3 or 4 layers of this at night, in the morning if I'm going to use it, and layer it on either before or after the Cause de Baha one. I will probably do 1 layer of that essence, but it has been great for my skin. It also improves elasticity and circulation in the skin and so on. But yeah, and it hydrates like nobody's business, especially since it's not so thick. That's what I love about it. Beautiful balance. So Innisfree actually has been coming out with some products, and I shouldn't say coming out because they've had these for a while, but I've just now discovered them. So guys, this is the first part of some of the things that I have been enjoying in skincare in 2019. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to go through everything else. Bye.